This episode was recorded in front of a live stream audience. Join me at gaming.youtube.com/the Jessa Channel.
Hello.
Hey there. You're watching the Jessa Channel live on YouTube. Today is September 13th, 2018. That's a Thursday. And it's also release day for Lamplight City. Yay. So, we are doing a live developer commentary live stream. So I'd like to say to you that I am Jessa. Hello, everyone. Hi, yay, awesome. You're hearing me just fine. Yes, thank you. Awesome. So we've got a lot going on here. We have Skype in the background. We have Francisco, who's patiently waiting to be introduced. We have me. We have 3 drunken stuffed animals, our usual mascots. And we also have, as per usual, technical difficulties. I just learned that if you have your video in Skype and then you switch to your video in OBS, your webcam doesn't show up. I just learned that, like, on the spot. Like, so yeah. I'm gonna get a t-shirt that says, "It's not a live stream until you're sweating. Like, you need some deodorant." Like, basically, like, I'm just gonna get a stick of deodorant and, like, right before I go live, I'm just gonna, like, Do you guys remember the days when I actually cried way back in the day? I once cried on air because I was so stressed out. Yay for technical difficulties. So, yeah. Before I get into the game, I want to encourage you guys, as always, for those of you guys, particularly in the European time zone, if you are new to the Jessa channel because Francisco has brought you here, and then first of all, welcome. Say hello to me in chat. And then second of all, the game is live right now. My mod team, I have 2 of them in there today, will be working hard to link you to the different places where Lamplight City can be bought. Mod team, can you link up to Lamplight City on Steam? Morgan's already done that. And then also it's available on Good Old Games. So we'll keep those links going as we play through the game, because the game just came out. It's $15, and I'm going to tell you, I think it's worth every penny. But let's find out if I'm just like making that up or if that's actually true by playing the game. Let's see if that works. How about that? First of all, I'm going to head on into the game, and then I'm going to bring Francisco in, and we're going to see if his audio is working well. I hope it is. Dear God, I hope it is. Because if it isn't, I'm totally screwed. Let's head on into the game. And thank you so much, mod team. By the way, Francisco, I know is watching because I can see his face and I can see him smiling, so that's a good thing. You can see my mod team at work. I have the best mod team in the business, and I'm not joking about that. Anyway, so let's head on into the game. And I am going to unmute Francisco, and in a moment, I'm going to tell you, Francisco, when to say hello. There we go. And then hopefully in just a minute, if I'm lucky and all things go well, he will show up right there. Look at him, ladies. I didn't get a chance to ask if he was single or not yet, but Francisco, go ahead and say hello to us and let me see if I can hear you. Okay. I hear him. Say hi, Francisco.
Hello. I can hear myself, so I guess everything's okay.
I can hear you too. You sound great.
Hi,
let me know, mod team.
Ooh.
Oh, you can hear yourself through the stream. Yeah. That's going to be a little bit of a pain, I'm sure.
Yeah, I can hear myself through the stream, which is fine. There's enough of a lag that it shouldn't be too
okay.
confusing.
So what I'm going to do to stop the lag is I'm going to actually have you mute the stream, and I'm going to go to Skype, so you should be able to hear me on Skype. Mute the stream, and you should be fine there. And then let's go ahead and show the game.
All right.
And that means we won't have as much of a delay. So everyone, let me know how things sound and look. And I'm going to close Lamplight City and restart it. Patrick just said, hello, gorgeous. Patrick, you stop flirting with the dev.
Hello, Patrick.
Okay, so that should be better. I can hear you better, and that works out well. Okay.
Cool. Yeah, I posted in the chat. The game's also available on the Humble store, but I'm not allowed to post links. But the link is... I can actually send you the link on Skype if you want.
Valest, my mod team has it already.
Oh, okay, perfect. Then. Yep,
I told you they're the best in the business.
You weren't kidding.
So let me just restart the game real fast because OBS is not grabbing it.
Mm-hmm.
And let's actually, there we go. Yay!
There we go.
In a minute, you guys are going to hear the music from the game. Let's get it up here. And, oh, you know what? Look at me muting the game. That was smart. I did that last night, didn't I? I did. Yeah, let's do that again. Let's restart the game again because this opening music is too good. And you guys really need to hear it. It's really good.
It's a nice little build up.
I know. It's got this really, so here we go. Let's open it up again. So doing a developer commentary live stream is a lot of fun. It's really awesome for Francisco to have joined us today. So I just want to say thank you to you for that. We're going to do...
Thank you for having me. It's my pleasure to be here. I mean, how often do people ask you to like talk about your stuff incessantly? It's a great opportunity.
So I'm going to lower the game volume about halfway so we can get everything just kind of balanced out.
Okay.
That should work out. And
yeah, you can do that within the sorry, there's a
I
lag,
can do it within the game. Yep.
Within the
and
game
we'll take
itself,
and we can turn that down as well too. This way. Cuz we want to I'm going to keep those voices up. We want to hear that.
Ooh. I mean, we should be fine with this, but when did you download this version of the game?
I didn't update to the latest version.
Yeah, but that's fine. There's really the only difference is it actually doesn't affect this. The only updates we did that we pushed were some German localization stuff, so you'll be fine.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I just learned that if you're supposed to do a developer commentary live stream, it's a really good idea to update the game before you go live. Like, that's an awesome idea. So I just learned that. Like, isn't that cool? Anyway, so yeah, I have chat up on my window and everything looks like everything's good. So first of all, welcome Cube. It's so good to see you. Welcome to the Jessa Channel. So, there is a bit of an echo. On what, Morgwin? Are you hearing my voice echoing, or are you hearing the game echoing? Tell me which part is echoing, and we'll work on it as we head on into the game. Also, one more thing. If you want to see this live stream, you can also head on over to Steam. It's live on Francisco's page right now, which is so cool. And I'd go look at it, but I'm working right now. So, anyway.
Let me actually check that it's working, because I don't know if it is.
Yeah, this is the first time we've tried it, because like I told you.
I don't see it. Let me just Google real quick. How to stream on Steam page. We're all learning here as we go.
We're learning as we go. Literally on the spot.
Yes.
If you can't get it to work, then you can just put up a new news item on your page and just link, right? That's the easiest way to do it if you can't get it to work.
Yeah, okay. So I did that already.
And you know what? I know why Francisco's echoing, so I will lower that. I got it, Morgwin. So if you guys are new here to the channel and you have, you know, let me know. Say hello to me in chat. And let's do a little greeting while we're working things out. Hi, Kristen. Hello, Cheesy. Hello,
sorry
Morgwin.
To interrupt, Jessa, but I think you need to, since you're going to be the one broadcasting, I think you need to go into your Steam settings and there's a broadcasting drop-down, and then you have to enable anyone can watch my games, and that should allow you to start streaming.
Okay, well,
and then, yeah, and then it'll broadcast on my page because I set you as a broadcaster on my page, I think.
Would you like me to do that, or would you prefer to just put a link in to a news item so that we can move on to the gameplay? How important it is to you?
Let me just do a link to a news item. Except, how do you set up a?
Because I don't have Steam open right now, and we want to get into the gameplay as soon as possible.
Gotcha. Yeah.
As we're about 20 minutes into the stream.
Right. Yeah, let's just go into it. I'll work on it while you're talking and playing the game.
Okay.
I'll figure it out.
That's how streams run around here.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna just read to you guys a little blurb about Lamplight City while you guys take a look at this menu here. And that's gonna stop the menu music, unfortunately, but that's okay. I'm just gonna take Lamplight City here. So Lamplight City is a steampunk-ish detective adventure from the creator of A Golden Wake. And you will be deeply amused that I had the boxed version of A Golden Wake for a while. I don't know if I have it still, but I did.
There was a boxed version?
I think so.
Are we thinking?
Because I remember,
Really?
I remember having it. Now, I remember having a boxed version or like a, you know, I had a physical copy of it, of A Golden Wake.
Okay. I didn't think
He's
we had
like,
done physical copies. But okay.
He's like, Jessa, you're totally making that up. Quit lying. I'm the developer. I know there wasn't a physical copy. Well, obviously, I remember having a physical copy of A Golden Wake. I don't know where I got it from.
Okay.
eBay.
Well,
I'm just making that up.
maybe.
That part I'm making up. The rest of it I'm not. Anyway, the steampunk-ish detective adventure from the creator of A Golden Wake and Shardlight, which I have not played yet, can private investigator Miles Fordham find justice for his clients and track down his partner's killer before his entire world comes apart. So we're going to find out if we can make Miles Fordham's entire world come apart right here, right now. Let's do this. So, once again, we're going to head on into a new game. Let me just show you the settings screen again. We are playing in windowed mode. I prefer to do that when streaming. The subtitles are on, language is English. It's, you know, it's, adventure game standard settings. However, what does speech hold mean, Francisco?
So speech hold is whether or not the text will clear automatically when they finish saying a line, or whether you have to click to advance the text.
Let's click to advance it. So that means uncheck that or check it?
Just leave it unchecked. By default,
Okay.
the audio clears itself. That's just like we added that actually just because for like the German subtitles, because German tends to be a little longer, word-wise. We didn't want, you know, if there were any non-English speaking players, because we just did subtitles in German, not audio. So if the audio cleared before, if the audio file stopped playing before that they were able to read the text, that we did that for that basically.
Okay, got it. So
and I see Cube in the chat is asking what other languages are available. Right now it's just English and German, because the publisher is German, so they handled the localization.
So I was just about to ask you that question, but you are already on top of it. So you're hired, Francisco?
All right.
Hey, do you need a job, dude?
Well, I don't have one right now because this game just came out. So yeah, technically.
And this is a really exciting time for a game developer, because you're selling the game right now. Like, copies are going right now as we're talking.
Ideally, yeah, that's happening. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. All right, so let's go on into a new game and head into the world of New Bretagne. Holmes and Watson. So there's different ways, I imagine, that we can choose to play Miles. I'm going to play him as bitter and, you know, and desperately in need of a cup of coffee and kind of a smart aleck. That's how we're going to go with Miles here. So this game, now you guys know that I generally play the game, I voice characters. I don't need to do that in this case. All the characters in Lamplight City are voiced. I noticed that the text is jumping here. Is that because we're on a train?
It's because you're in a carriage, so the screen's shaking.
That's excellent.
That's an adventure game studio thing. When you shake the screen, everything shakes. You can't just say, oh, only have the characters or the background shake. Everything does, including the menu, if we could see the menu here. But yeah.
Thank you, Valest. I will do that right now. I will up Francisco, and I can get him just a little bit louder. How about that?
Hello, can you hear me better now? I'm not going to be talking like that. I'm going to be speaking at this volume. How's that? All right.
Yep, there we go. Morgan's like my mod who really makes sure my audio levels are balanced, and I'm really grateful to her for that. So,
Cool.
because obviously I can't hear the live stream, so I rely on my mods to make sure everything sounds really good.
Right.
Okay, so we're gonna say, Bill, wake up. The carriage is on fire, because we're just that kind of a that kind of a dick, really.
Bill, wake up! The carriage is on fire!
That's only funny when I do it to you.
What's the matter? Have a rough night?
Bit too much Bollingworth ale is all. That stuff really creeps up on you.
Sorry I couldn't join you, but I was long overdue for a quiet night in with Addie.
That's fine. There'll be plenty of other opportunities. Hell, maybe Adelaide can even join us. It's been ages since she last drank me under the table.
Afraid she mostly sticks to tea these days.
Miles, what exactly is it we're looking into? I may have dozed off during the briefing.
All right, a volume adjustment on the voices. Hold on, please.
Oh, you're not going to be able to actually do that until you're back in playable. Yeah, you're going to have to
I'm doing
this
it.
Conversation first.
I'm doing
unless
it.
You do it out.
Yeah, I'm doing it outside of the game.
Okay.
Outside. Yep. I'm doing. It's easier. I do it this way so that I can better control things individually through the volume mixer settings.
Mm-hmm.
So there we go. All right, we'll see how that's a little bit better there. So Cube is hoping that you will add Russian in the future. Do you have anything to say about that?
Localization is, I've learned, really, really, really hard and time consuming. They literally the team that was doing the localization was literally up until about 2 a.m. last night doing it to get it ready for release. We'll explore the options. If there's a demand for it, then perhaps we'll do other languages. But for right now, the only plans are to have English and German.
So what we just learned there, besides the fact that Francisco was up until 2 a.m., is we learned what happens when you put a developer.
I was tossing and turning and plus it was 2 a.m. German time, so it was.
Oh,
it was
okay, yeah.
Afternoon here, but yeah.
We just learned what happens when you put a developer who's like live, like in the hot seat, and say, "Hey, are you going to do this?" And then you watch them stammer. That's really cool. That's really why I love doing this. So anyway, let's go ahead and
what I signed up for.
Exactly. He's like he'll go over to like all the other like the secret developers forum like that exists somewhere, and he'll be like, if Jessa comes to you and asks you to do a developer commentary live stream, run, Forrest, run. Okay, so Captain Snelling is going to notice one of these days. I want to know who Captain Snelling is, so let's go ahead and click him.
Honestly, Bill, one of these days Snelling's gonna notice.
No, he won't. Why do you think they put him behind a desk? The man couldn't find his own backside with a pair of pliers and a lantern.
Very funny. Anyway, it's a burglary at the Hambrook Flower Shop.
A burglary, eh? How dull. At least we'll have enough time to get a drink afterwards.
You seem awfully certain of that.
I am. In fact, I'd bet the devil my head that we're done within the hour.
Well, the devil's gonna be disappointed that his winnings are so meager. Ah, we've arrived. After you, Bill.
The city of New Bretagne, borough, I hope I'm saying that right, of Cholmondeley. Hey, Francisco, could you pick harder names to pronounce? Thanks.
The voice actors had a real fun time with that.
Thank you. Keep the change.
And so, our night of excitement begins.
You, more than anyone else, should know that there's rarely a dull night in Chumley.
I have a feeling tonight will be the exception. Until we get to the pub, that is.
Keep your mind on the case, Bill. Now let's get a move on.
We can left-click to interact with objects. The mouse cursor is context sensitive. So one of the things that I love about adventure games is diving into another world. I especially love mystery and detective adventure games. So when I've been watching Lamplight City for months.
Were you actually going to do anything for them?
Can you give me a minute? I'm talking. Dang, man. Anyway, but one of the things that I don't like about adventure games is inventory, puzzles, pixel clicking, hunting. Everyone here that is a regular.
Investigate a burglary, not stand around taking in the ambience.
Yeah, sorry, Bill will goad you on if you just stand still.
Okay, here's how we shut Bill up. Let's see if I can do it.
Go into the settings or something, or just.
I'm pressing escape to hit settings. What is it for settings?
Oh, just go up, roll the mouse up to the top of the screen.
Oh, got it. Okay, there we go. So that's how you shut Bill up. Anyway, but the thing I don't like is, inventory puzzle and, pixel hunting, that kind of thing. I watched another Francisco doing another interview type reveal of his game, and he mentioned that there is no inventory puzzles. And in a review, that doesn't mean there aren't puzzles in the game, don't get me wrong, but in a review I also read that the puzzles, contrary to other adventure games, you guys listen up because this is the most important thing, and I can do that, Valest, I'll do that in just a minute, is that the actual solving of the cases is the puzzle. That's the puzzle. Which just made me want to smack my head with of course, that's the way it should be. As opposed to click this and put it on here and put this and put it on here, which you guys know I can't stand. So, Francisco, what was behind that choice?
It was pretty much mostly what you said. I mean, I also really don't like it when in adventure games you're pretty much just kind of forced to start clicking everything on everything, because that's just frustrating game design. That breaks immersion, and it pretty much just means that you've become stuck. Hang on, I'm getting a message here from
tell him you're busy.
Yeah, well, it's my publisher. So
well, tell him I said hi. Tell him to come join us.
Okay, yeah.
Tell him to come join us.
Yeah.
Is it Volker?
Volker, yeah, it's Volker.
Oh, hey, I know Volker. I've worked with him on numerous games. Tell him to get his butt in here. Jessa said, "Get your butt in here."
Yes.
Volker can laugh. Volker will have a laugh because I always, speaking of puzzles, I always ask Volker for a walkthrough because I'm crap at puzzles. And every time he sends me it, no problem. And I say, Volker, you should just send me the walkthrough with the key because you know I'm going to ask you. Come on, man.
Right. Well, yeah, but just to briefly answer your question, yeah, I felt that, especially in a detective game, I didn't think that there was really a place for the type of puzzles where you would have to be collecting all sorts of junk and trying to figure out weird combinations for them and things like that. I just felt like if I'm making a detective game where the focus is on solving the cases, then yeah, the cases themselves, figuring out the mystery, that should be the puzzle. That should be what you're trying to figure out. Not, does this block of cheese go into this stick of dynamite sort of thing, and I mean, of course, that doesn't mean that there aren't puzzles, because obviously to solve a case you have to overcome obstacles, which essentially is what a good adventure game puzzle is, really. So people aren't just gonna say, you go up to people and you're not just gonna say, hey, I'm a detective, let me in, and they'll let you in. There might be obstacles that present themselves where you have to figure out how to. Are you okay?
Excuse me. That was super embarrassing. Hold on a second.
Oh, it's fine.
So, my husband's gonna come home and he's gonna say, how'd the live stream go? And I'm gonna tell him that I almost died.
Oh, God.
I just learned a new thing, and that is don't drink tea during a live stream and then breathe at the same time. Excuse me. Okay, let's go again. So you were responding. I think I've got this.
Oh,
I was dying.
Yeah, so you were dying, yes, and I was just chatting away.
Okay. So let's head back into the game.
Right. So yeah, just to end it, yeah. So yeah, I didn't think that inventory puzzles needed to be
Miles,
there.
did you
so
fall
I wanted to
asleep
focus
standing
more
up
on the
again?
actual investigations.
Okay, got it. So let's do some actual investigating. Let's talk to Bill.
Could I have a word?
What's on your mind, Fordham?
So this is the dialogue of Lamplight City, and it is actually inspired by what, Francisco?
It's inspired by an old Sierra game called Gabriel Knight's Sins of the Fathers.
I know that game.
Yeah, it's a great game. So I borrowed the aesthetic for this because I figured also if the game was focused on
If I didn't know
the
any
dialogue
better,
and what
I'd
they were
say
saying,
Snelling's been
you
giving us
should
the
be able to
boring cases
concentrate
lately
on
purpose.
their faces.
Why would he do something like
And
that?
that way you can retain what
He's
they're
eyeing a
saying
promotion to
better,
chief of
hopefully.
police. He'd sell his own mother's cane if he thought it would help. Plus, there's no secret he doesn't like us.
I can't understand why. I've shown him nothing but respect.
It's because you're too good at what you do. And because you're friends with me.
What's that got to do with anything?
Not everyone is as open-minded as you, Miles. Let's just leave it at that.
So when the characters are talking, if you pause and then answer after they finish talking, it'll be easier for our viewers to hear what you're saying along with the characters. Thank you so much.
Gotcha.
So we're going to ask about, now how do you pronounce this?
Chumley.
Chumley.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so just like a little, like just wondering, like why'd you spell it like that?
Oh, I didn't spell it like that. That's how it's actually spelled. It's an actual
Oh, this is a real place.
It's a real well, I mean, it is a real place in England. It's I just took the name for this particular borough of the city.
I see. So I thought
yeah.
we were playing in a fictionary, that's a word. A fictional word? A fictional world?
We're playing in a fictional world, but I still used some names that I got from actual place names.
So I think this went down. It was like a Monday night about 9:30 and you were bored and you were like, okay, so I need like a place for my game, right? So you like downed like a half a glass of whiskey and you closed your eyes and you just went, and you
well, I'll tell you why I use this name is because I mean I love adventure games, and you know the Broken Sword series?
Yeah, we've played that.
So in Broken Sword 3, there's a character named Professor Chumley who spells it like that, and there's a sort of little joke at the beginning where you first meet him and the bad guy's about to kill him and he's like, now Professor Cholmundley, and the guy's like, it's not Chumundley, and then he gets shot. And then the whole game, the main character as an American is asking everybody about, oh hey, Professor Cholmundley, and no one knows who he is, and then he realizes that it's actually pronounced Chumley, and then people know who he's talking about. And I always thought that was very funny, and I've always loved how there's some English place names that are just, they have like 18 letters and they're one syllable. And so when I was coming up with names for the city, I thought, well, I can use this. So that's why I did it.
The Chumley City Council is going to be having a word with you later. By the way, Damo is in chat, and Damo is another Let's Player on YouTube, and he's also a friend of mine, and he loves adventure games. So I hope you're able to bring this to the channel, your channel, Damo. But anyway, let's go ahead and Damo's English, so he knows that Chumley is a village in Cheshire. I hope I'm saying that right, Cheshire. There's a nice castle there, he says. Let's go ahead and click on Chumley.
You ever miss living out here, Bill?
About as much as you missed stepping in that pile of horseshit last week.
I was distracted by that story you were telling me about your sister. How's she doing out west, anyway?
Well, she's not in the chum, so fantastic. Living here was about as fun as wearing a vest made of meat to a dogfight. I'm glad we both managed to get out. Oh, and by the way, Miles, you didn't do such a great job of cleaning your shoes.
That would explain all the funny looks I've been getting.
And let's ask Bill about himself.
Still feeling rough, Bill?
Yes, but I'll feel better once his case is finished and we can go down to the Angel for a pint or 4.
Hair of the dog?
No better medicine.
Okay, so we have...
All right.
We have a burglary to do. And so we need to head into this Handbrook flower shop. So let's go ahead and do that. I assume that's what we need to do because it's right here. So let me also, before we head on in here, you are the solo developer. And by the way, hi, Anderol. And no, I did not make this game.
Make it to the Angel in time.
Would ya hush up?
Come on, Bill.
He has a one-track mind, that Bill.
So, Andrew, I did not make this.
Isn't it?
Charming, but empty. We need to find the owner.
Always so to the point, Fordham. If ever there was a better time to stop and smell the flowers.
I think I'll leave that to you, Bill.
With my allergies? Hardly.
So, the voice actor for Miles Fordham his name is, he just followed me on Twitter. Bill?
Ben Britton.
Ben. And,
Lost in thought again, eh, Fordham?
Alright, I'm gonna kill you. Is there like a shut up mode? Because I'd like you to call the first.
It's funny you say that, actually, because you're gonna have to get very used to hearing Bill talking throughout this game. That's kind of the whole thing.
When you were designing this game, you didn't expect that you'd be doing a live stream with me talking and talking about different aspects of the game. You expected to, that there would be just like a single person sitting there and playing the game, and they wouldn't be pausing for, a minute and a half to talk about some aspect of the game.
That's true.
So,
I didn't. I'm gonna need to implement a streamer mode next time if I
exactly a streamer mode. I want you to roll out the Jessa patch.
Okay.
Put like a streamer mode in there for me. So let's go ahead and find the owner, but of course I want to look at all the things on the screen here. Francisco drew everything that you see on this screen. He is the solo developer. This little flower pot right here, he sat there at the desk with his tongue sticking out like this, like with concentration.
Put you in a trance or something.
And he drew this. So let's click on it.
Not too many left. Seems business isn't so bad around here.
Well, you know what they say. There are only 3 certainties in life: death, taxes, and people taking advantage of sales.
So is Bill basically our Mr. Dr. Watson?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. Hello. I missed someone saying hello, so whoever it was, hello to you, Supermods. Welcome to the Jessa Channel.
This is quite the selection. Come over here and take a whiff, Bill.
Sure, if you don't mind me getting snot all over your coat.
Oh,
okay, that's
no,
classic.
Not Myers case all over again. On second thought, you can just stay over there.
All right, who wrote this excellent, high quality? Oh wait, solo developer, you.
Plants
Yeah,
living
it was
on
me.
hooks. A nice space-saving method.
I'd probably bang my head against them constantly if I had them in my apartment.
So if I hold down the shift key, the space bar, nope. I was wondering if there's in a lot of games, if you hold down the space bar, you can see every clickable item on the screen, because we like to be thorough and...
Right. Yeah, no, I thought about adding that feature, but I figured it would kind of be in a detective game where you're kind of supposed to be thorough and looking at everything, and
are you
it's
okay?
the gameplay hinges on like the possibility of being able to miss certain clues and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that would kind of be a cheat, so there's not really pixel hunting. I feel like everything that is noteworthy in each background has its own hotspot. with some exceptions. But I mean, generally speaking, there's not like, I was very conscious to minimize the amount of pixel hunting.
Oh, so you guys are now the Supermod twins? Is that what I'm seeing? So I hear what you're saying. I'm also responding to something in chat. So it looks like basically what you're telling me is that the game is logical. If it looks like something that you would click on, go ahead and click on it.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, I like you. I like you a lot, brother.
Well, thank
All
you.
right.
I like you too.
And look, you guys watched. A friendship was born.
The staircase isn't very well lit.
I'll go first. That way you can catch me if I fall.
We should
I like the
probably
humor
ask
in
for
this.
permission before heading up there.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it was, just let him stop speaking. It was challenging. It was really challenging to get the tone of this prologue right, because, not to spoil anything, but once we get out of the prologue and into the main game, you'll understand where I'm coming from. But the main challenge here was, obviously it's a new game, you're just meeting these characters for the first time, and the challenge is you're supposed to, as like my goal as the writer is to make you as the player care about these characters and like these characters, but at the same time they're characters who have been partners for 15 years as they mention, and so I had to write them to sound like people who had been working together for 15 years, but at the same time not go into like super in-joke territory or anything like that, because that would kind of all between the player and these characters. I wanted the player to be able to relate to them and like them, but also get the sense that they, you know, the player had to get to know these characters in a very short amount of time. And so it was really challenging to write that basically their dialogue in this. But I mean, hopefully it comes across.
So I feel like we're already getting to know Bill and Miles just in the short little bit we've played, because I see Miles as bitter drunk addicted to Starbucks coffee, and Bill as loudmouth little fart face. So I feel connected to them.
Right. Yeah, that was basically like, that's the whole reason that everything you look at, Bill has a comment for, because, you know, Miles will give his very proper straight-laced detective analysis and Bill will make his smart-ass comment, and that's kind of their dynamic and their relationship. And so it had to be a little exaggerated at first so that you could get that, but it develops a little more as the game goes on.
Okay, so we need to talk to someone. I'm trying to go upstairs, or how we call out the person here. Do we? Oh, a bell. Wow, that's awesome.
You stood in front of it, sorry.
Be right there. Oh, hello, gentlemen. I must say you caught me by surprise. I was preparing to close soon. May I help you find anything? The flowers in the center display are half price this week, and I have a special on chrysanthemums today. Or perhaps a custom bouquet for the special ladies in your lives?
I have no need myself, but maybe Adelaide would appreciate a little something. Eh, Miles? Those peonies in the corner look nice.
I'm afraid we're not here as customers tonight, ma'am. We'd like to have a word with the proprietor. Is he in?
I see. I'm Cecilia Handbook, and this is my shop. What can I do for you, gentlemen?
I'm Detective Miles Fordham, and this is my partner, William Legere. We received a report of a burglary at your store.
A report? From whom? I never contacted the police before, and I didn't this time, either.
It was made anonymously, but are you saying this isn't the first time it's happened?
Correct. It's happened 3 times. But considering the police hardly care about the daily muggings and vandalisms around here, I didn't think they would be interested in something so trivial.
Well, we're here now, and we'll do all we can to help you.
We'll have to see about that.
If you wouldn't mind, Mrs. Handbrook, I'd like to ask you a few questions.
Very well, Detective.
First of all, the question we'd like to ask you is, are you single? Because, girl, you are a fine drink of wine. So, so you know what Francisco's thinking right now? He's thinking, I have found my next voice actor. We'll have to write in a new character, and her name will be La Chatrelle. Yeah, so if you could just hop on that. Anyway, let's ask her about the burglaries.
Could you give me the details concerning the burglaries?
About 3 weeks ago on Monday, I noticed that my order of Easter lilies was missing. At first, I thought nothing of it. Sometimes certain types of flowers are unavailable or arrive in poor condition. These things happen. Then 2 weeks ago on Wednesday, it happened again. But this time, I noticed something rather odd.
Go on.
When I opened the shop, there were 6 crowns and 10 shillings on the counter. That's exactly the cost of 2 orders of lilies. Last Friday, it happened yet again. The lilies were missing, and there was payment for 1 order on the counter. I believe that someone has been breaking into my shop after hours, taking the lilies, and leaving money behind.
How unusual.
You know, I really wouldn't call the police about that. That sounds awesome. I would sit back and, enjoy it. So people have been paying you.
So this burglar has been paying for the stolen goods?
That would appear to be the case, yes. I really don't think this could even be considered a crime. That's one of the reasons I didn't bother reporting it to the police.
And the other reasons?
Oh, I think I've already made those quite clear, Detective.
Basically that the police are not very helpful.
Have you found any evidence of a break-in?
No, the front door is always locked. My assistant Trevor and I are the only ones with the key.
Are there any other points of access to the building?
The upstairs windows, I suppose, but I make sure to keep them locked, and neither of them have been broken.
Would you allow us to have a look upstairs?
Is that really necessary?
We want to look at your stocking
drawer.
drawer.
To close up the shop.
It won't take but a moment.
Fine, I suppose you may, but please, don't dally too long.
It won't take too long. Bill just loves the feel of silk and stockings against his skin. Anyway.
I have a little anecdote about this character when you're done talking with her.
Okay. So, let's talk about Trevor, because I think Trevor's guilty, and we can just say that and then go home for a beer.
You mentioned your assistant has the other shop key. What can you tell me about him?
His name is Trevor Hastings, and he has been working for me for the past 10 years.
Do you trust him?
Implicitly. I've known him for ages, and he has been my full-time assistant since shortly after my husband died. You're not suggesting he had anything to do with this, are you?
Not at all. I would like to speak with him, though. Where might I find him?
It's Friday, so he should be on his way back from the docks right now. He'll be bringing my flower order within the hour.
Good. We'll meet him here then, if that's all right with you.
I suppose I don't really have much of a choice, do I?
No, you don't, baby pie. So, let's ask about suspicious people. I mean, besides Bill.
Have you noticed any suspicious characters lurking around?
Detective Fordham, this is Chumley. You can't throw a stone without hitting a suspicious character. And if you've noticed my window, you'd be aware that stones get thrown around quite a bit in this neighborhood. If you're looking for trouble, you're far more likely to find it out there than in here.
I meant if you'd seen anyone out of the ordinary near your shop.
Only the 2 men from the police who entered it tonight. That is most definitely out of the ordinary.
Hi, Gibbous. I am really happy to see you here because I know you. I don't know if you remember, but I played your game on the channel. I played a preview of it a couple years back. So I'm really glad. I'm glad to see you. Thank you for stopping by. And you've already been playing for a couple of hours. Has Bill yelled at you too? Because he's yelled at me and I'm feeling kind of PTSD about it. Anyway, hashtag, you know what? Here's our hashtag for this stream, you guys. There we go.
Oh, if only.
Have you been in business long?
Yes, I opened this shop 30 years ago, along with my late husband, David. But the past 10 years, I've been running things on my own.
Don't you feel unsafe being here by yourself so late into the night?
Detective, when you've lived in this part of town as long as I have, it takes quite a lot to scare you.
I think that's all the information I need for now.
All right, Detective.
Wait, we need one more piece of information. Your phone number. Come on, baby. Don't be like that. She's so fine and divine. Okay. So I just want to tell you guys.
Oh,
Go ahead,
you're
Francis.
Not on Steam, but if you wanna do a fun little thing to get an achievement, you can keep hitting
Ringing the bell. Haha, good.
Lost
Thank
in
you.
thought again, eh, Fordham?
Oh. Hello, Volker. Welcome. My dream has been fulfilled. I finally got Volker to come to one of my live streams. I've been sending him pictures of my cat for like ages, and this is the first time. I'm just kidding. So, you guys, this is the
flowers put you in a trance or something?
I'm gonna smack you. I mean it. So, this person in chat right now is Volker. He is, okay, so I'll start sending you pictures of something else. So Volker, let me put how Volker is spelled. Volker is spelled, yeah, you guys are trying to spell that. Volker is spelled that. There you go. Oh, for your flowers. Oh, the flowers. So Volker is the publisher or part of the publishing team for this game. And so is this the first game, Francisco, that you had published or, you know, through a publisher? I mean,
no.
Didn't Dave Gilbert publish one of your games?
Yeah, he published 2 of my games. He published The Golden Wake and he published Shardlight.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I was put in touch with Application Systems, and they very graciously agreed to publish the game. So, yeah.
Thank you, Volker. You're our hero. Hey, Volker, you remember me because I'm the one who always asks you for a walkthrough every single time. Every time, because you guys know I can't do puzzles. You guys know, I tell you, like Volker, just put on like your database for the Jessa channel, just put send key with puzzle because with walkthrough, because she just does not, she can't do, you know, just forget it. Like put that there.
So
anyway,
I'll tell you a little story about Mrs. Handbrook if you want.
Yes, please.
So you said, you know, I did write this game, but behind every great writer is a great editor. And in this case, we had a great editor, dialogue editor and narrative consultant named Jess Haskins, who also happens to be my girlfriend, but that's beside the point.
Ooh.
But she helped to kind of clean up my dialogue and help me figure out, like, she would point me in the right direction as far as like figuring out the voice for each of the characters and things like that. Because it's really easy to fall into tropes when you're writing characters, especially with characters that you're not going to talk to for very long and you want to kind of get bits of their personality out in the forefront. And so Mrs. Handbook went through a few iterations. The very first iteration, she was kind of just like a sassy old dowager countess type lady without any real reason for it. So then I was like, well, let's give her a little bit more character. So I actually did make her like a thirsty old lady. And, you know, when she came in, she was like, oh, hello, gentlemen. How are you? Hello, you're cute. And I believe there was actually the phrase when she was talking about the burglar, she said something about penetrate my flowery or something.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was bad.
Lamplight City after dark.
Lamplight slutty is more like it. But,
Hashtag Lamplight slutty, guys. It's the first person who puts it on Twitter. Okay, so I just want to tell you seriously, will you give me a game key? If you're willing. If not, I'll buy one. So that I can send a game key to the first person who tweets Lamplight slutty.
Yeah. I was just given a list of Steam keys actually. So yeah, that'll go to a good cause.
Okay, so you guys. Just one second, Francisco. So if you would like to get a key, I will give you one key to Lamplight City, which is on release day. If you tweet out that we are playing Lamplight Slutty, the Lamplight Slutty version, Send it to me and or Francisco at Grundislav Games. You can see his Twitter right there. And I will send you a key to the first tweet I get. Come on, do it. Anyway, go ahead.
Let me just, this is going to really confuse the people that are putting their names on this list here, because I just put in hashtag Lamplight Slutty. Yeah, so basically let me post the key in the Skype chat real quick.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem. So anyway, yeah, so she was helping me try and figure out Mrs. Hanbrook's voice. So we basically came up with the idea that she wasn't super sassy, but she was distrustful of the police, because the backstory, the sort of unsaid backstory, is that her husband was mugged in this bad neighborhood and the police didn't really help, and so he died. And so she's she's bitter towards the police because of that, and she's sort of, I'll take care of myself, I don't need your help. And that's why she has this little attitude towards Miles and Bill. So yeah.
So basically, I'm voting that we make her our girlfriend, our Victorian wench by the end of the story. I was voting for like Miles and Bill to go off into the sunset together, but I don't know. Bill's just too much. We can't. He's high maintenance.
He's going to become very low maintenance very soon.
Okay.
Spoilers.
So let's go ahead and click this bell.
Yes,
just because
I'm right here.
I want to. Although since I don't have Steam open, I won't get an achievement.
There's really no need to ring that bell when I'm standing here.
I'm gonna keep ringing your bell until you give me your number.
It was funny the first
The achievement's
time,
actually called
but
Ring My
now
Bell.
it's starting to wear thin.
Bill is over there like, this is the best thing ever.
Detective, please.
Miles, are you okay? You've had your fun, Fordham. Best to knock it off and get back to business.
You're not my mother.
Tempting, but I think I should focus on more important matters.
All right, fine. So we can head on upstairs and try on these, our Mrs. Hanbrook's silk stocking. So let's go ahead and do that. Thank you, princess.
Interesting choice of
Hashtag
decor in here.
Perhaps it wasn't always used as a storeroom, although I can understand why it would have been converted.
Yeah, it is rather drafty in here.
Hashtag Lamplight Slutty.
A rather distinguished-looking gentleman.
Reminds me of Captain Snelling, if he ever smiled.
So you could just put a picture of Mrs. Fordham on a t-shirt. Underneath, it just says hashtag Lamplight Slutty, and sell those. Trust me, if you do it, I'm telling you, I'll buy one.
I'm gonna hang on. I need to retweet the. I'm gonna say here.
I've seen this type of device before. It's a special container for growing plants. Specific temperature and water conditions can be adjusted. Seems to be empty right now, though. And judging by the dust, it hasn't been used in a long time, if ever.
It seems Mrs. Hanbrook isn't too fond of
fan
steam
art,
tech,
my favorite.
or just doesn't understand it.
I want to see some fan art of Miles and Mrs. Hanbrook in a lusty embrace.
I want to see a fan art of Mrs. Hanbrook in her hat and nothing else.
Oh!
No, that's not true. I really don't want to see that. Don't get any ideas.
Thinking about life's great mysteries again, are you?
Thank you, Vanya, for coming. And I appreciate it. I know it's late for you where you are, so I appreciate you staying up for this one. And Gibbous, I know you can draw, so get on that Mrs. Hanbrook thing.
Oh God.
Oh, so there's a puzzle here.
The window latch.
There is.
Securely locked. Interesting. There's a gap between the window and the frame here. No wonder it's so drafty in this room.
I saw that.
I wonder.
What are you thinking, Fordham?
That it's time for an experiment. I'm going to need a tool, however. Something long and thin should do the trick.
Shouldn't be too hard to find something like that around here.
All right. So we need something long and thin. Let's exit here. There's a heater.
I would imagine that keeping a consistent temperature in here is important for the flowers.
When do you suppose this contraption was last serviced?
Hard to say. Definitely not recently, if the dust buildup is any indication.
Okay, so basically, if the killer came through here, I'm the killer. I'm already I'm planning Hanbrook's death. But anyway, if the burglar came through here, they did not water any flowers or turn on the heater.
A pastoral landscape. Definitely nowhere near here.
I've never much understood art, but it would be nice to see a place like that in person.
I agree completely, Gibbous. The soundtrack is really good. So let's take a moment to talk about the soundtrack, Francisco.
Yeah, the soundtrack is amazing. The soundtrack was done by a composer named Mark Bennis, who I met here locally through a game sort of a meetup organization called Playcrafting. And I was talking to him, and at the time, this was about, I want to say about 2 years ago, or a little less than 2 years ago. I told him about what I was working on and that I was looking for a composer and kind of what I wanted, because at the time I wanted to see if I could get away with getting like a live string quartet to do the music for this, kind of like Arcanum. But I told him kind of what I was looking for, and he told me that sounded like what exactly he was good at. So we talked, and we had a business meeting, a lunch meeting, and he kind of told me what ideas he had, and he started kind of doing some musical sketches, and he sent me the stuff. And he said to me, actually, in one of our meetings, he said, do you know who Bernard Herrmann is? And I said, yes, he's one of my favorite film composers. And for anyone who might not know, he's basically worked with Alfred Hitchcock on all of his movies, most of his movies anyway. And I just love his music. Like, he did the score for Psycho, he did Vertigo. He has a very classic film orchestral. Also, my guests just arrived home. I have some friends staying with me this week, so we're on a live stream now. You're on camera. Yes. Anyway, yeah, so he was very inspired by Bernard. I told him, just go for it, like, do the Bernard Herrmann. And it's funny because a lot of people listen to it and they think, oh, it kind of sounds like Danny Elfman, but Danny Elfman was inspired by Bernard Herrmann, so it all comes full circle somehow.
It is a really good soundtrack, and the main menu music and how it opens up when you start the game is fantastic. Yeah. I do have a question. You did there was some voice work in the back, like coughing and sounds of the city. So I'm wondering if that was honest question, was that you? Like, did you mute your microphone, like put your handkerchief over the microphone and then step back a bit and just kind of give a good cough into the microphone? Was that you? Pretty much, yeah. It was pretty much just me going and making all sorts of horrible vomity noises, and then I would go and open them in Goldwave and just kind of muffle them so it sounded like they were behind doors, and then I just kind of pasted it all together into this ambient sort of tapestry of horror and filth. So, yeah. Okay, that's our new quote. A tapestry of horror and filth. Welcome to Lamplight City. Yep. It just makes you want to buy one, right? I want to buy one. So, Princess, I will send you the link. I will send you a Steam key if you are indeed the first person who sent that to me. I will send it to you afterwards through Twitter. I will send you a direct message through Twitter. And Valest has put a link in to Mark Bennis's Bandcamp page. So there's the soundtrack if you want to check it out. And I'm not sure if you can buy it there, but if you can, that's one way. Yeah. That is one way to support Francisco and Mark, who's done the great music for this. So let's go ahead and take a look at these crates.
Unmarked, but if the smell is anything to go by, this is where the flowers are stored when delivered.
I'll keep my distance then.
So I can't believe that we're assigned to a case where we basically are trying to find a guy who sneaks into, or woman, who sneaks into flower shops, buys flowers, and puts money on the counter. And we're trying to, like, I don't see why we're even here. We should just go home.
Seems to be the broken pot storage area.
Why not just throw them
That's
away?
kind of how they feel too. That's why they're wondering why the captain is giving them this kind of mundane case.
Yeah. So I think we've looked at everything we can look at here. I already looked at that, I think.
A rather distinguished looking gentleman.
Okay.
Reminds me of Captain Snelling, if he ever smiled.
Is Captain Snelling their police captain?
Yes.
Okay. What window?
I don't think this window would serve as a viable means of entry.
It's a nice view, though. You can hardly see the vomit and manure piles on the street from up here.
So beautiful. I just want to move there. So we have a window where someone could have gotten in, but we need a long, thin type of wire type place. I believe we've looked at everything here in this particular scene. Let's head to the doorway. Hotspot icons will change when new interactions are available. So it looks like we may be able to, let's see, center display. Oh, I wonder if...
Aha! This hook is exactly what I
That's
need.
exactly...
Mrs. Hanbrook, may I borrow this hook for a few minutes? It's crucial to our investigation.
Is that so?
Yes, I promise. I'll put it back as soon as I'm done.
Please do, Detective.
All right, and also let's take a moment and take a look at the case book, which we haven't yet looked at. Our current case is Honor Among Thieves. The Hanbrook flower shop has been burglarized. Will the burglar return, or is this investigation just a formality? And we need to wait for Trevor Hastings. We can perform an experiment on the upstairs window. These are our current clues. Nice. Interesting. And suspects. Suspects, besides Bill, nobody. Documents, nothing yet. So I understand that you do have a release day party that you need to be getting ready for. So we've been streaming for about an hour and 15 minutes. So if you could give me another 45 minutes, I don't know if that would give you enough time to get your party. Okay.
That's fine.
Let's head back upstairs. So, a completely honest, statement, and that is, I love games where I say, oh, I wonder if you could. I click on it, and you can. So, when I looked around the scene and saw those hanging things, that looked like the logical thing, but I have had a lot of frustration in games in which the logical thing is not the thing because they want to make a hard puzzle, quote unquote. So you have to look under different things.
But we really should be getting a move on.
And I can't stand that. It's irritating. So I really like the game so far because it doesn't make me feel that, oh God, I have to solve a puzzle stress. It more makes me feel like, what would I logically do as a person? I'd go get this hanging hook and use it. And that's what I do.
Right, and that section is in particular is just kind of getting you used to the idea of the fact that the icons can be based on, like, if you had looked at those beforehand, it would have just, or if you'd hovered your mouse over the hanging plants beforehand, it would have been the magnifying glass, and if Miles had looked at them, he would have said, oh, they're plants hanging on hooks, which kind of plants the seed in your brain that, oh, there's hooks here. And then when you know you need them, then it becomes the hand so that you know you can pick them up.
I really like that, and so here we have an opportunity to now notice when I scroll down here, there's no inventory popping up or anything like that. We're just going to click on this.
Window latch, securely locked.
And then if we click here, I'm imagining.
Bill, it's time for our experiment.
Yep. And what is this experiment going to be exactly?
Simple. I'm going to see if this hook can get me inside the shop.
I really like this.
I'm glad.
Rather dark out here.
Watch your step, then. This experiment of yours isn't worth a broken neck.
I'll be fine. Now then, could you please close and lock the window, Bill?
And stay out. All right. Oh, I see. Just moving our mouse. That's pretty cool. So just kind of like that. Oh, I see. Oh, look. Oh, that's awesome.
Well, I'd say this is fairly incontrovertible.
That's one of my favorite moments when I've watched people play this, when they realize that they have to do that.
Where'd you learn how to do that anyway?
You taught me, remember?
Nah. Are you sure it was me?
Positive. We were a few pints in at the Angel about 5 years ago, and you decided I should
Hello,
learn how to
Matt.
pick locks.
What else have I taught you how to do while drunk?
That would be telling.
All right, so Joe is asking you if the game is released on PS4, and if not, do you have plans for that? Or
No,
hopes?
I just responded in chat. Yeah,
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, no, it's PC, Mac, and Linux. No plans to port to console until someone figures out how to port Adventure Game Studio games to console.
So there you go, Matt.
Come on, Miles, don't just stand there. Do something.
And there's gonna be a DLC that comes out. It's called the Shut Up Bill DLC. And and it features like a special new character, La Chautauqua, or whatever I said her name was. And we're gonna solve her special case. So we figured out how we can get in. Let's go talk to since we see that latch is quite open now. Let's go talk to
Trevor.
Evening, Cecilia. I've got the order ready to bring in.
Trevor, these are Detectives Fordham and Leger. They say there's been a report about the burglaries, and they're here investigating.
I only did it because I think it's been going on too long. As much as you want to, we can't handle this ourselves.
We can discuss the matter later. In the meantime, the detective would like a word with you.
I'll be needing to bring in the flowers first, if that's all right. Otherwise, some hooligan's likely to run off with them.
My partner will keep an eye on your flowers. Bill, would you mind?
Ah, the glamour of police work.
Now, Mr. Hastings, if I could ask you a few questions?
Go on, then.
Okay, so here is Mr. Hastings. So I see that Volker's telling us that we've done Nelly Kutelat, which you guys will remember we did play that on the channel. And that was back before I found out about the wonder of developer commentary streams, or I would have had the developer Alistair, I believe his name is. I remember him because he has long, glorious red hair. Anyway, and Unforeseen Incidents is another game that I got a key to. Unfortunately, I was unable to get into that game, but I really tried to get the developers to join me, but they didn't give me the time of day. So I went to bed, cried about that, and I'm over it. Not really, but I'll get over it. Anyway, so Ginger Jesus. His name is Alistair, right? Anyway,
yeah, Alistair Beckett King.
Yeah, he's also a comedian, but that was before that was back when I was still doing Let's Plays, and now my channel is not primarily, totally a live stream channel, and that allows me to have these wonderful events where I get to have the developer with me, and it just makes the content so much more involved. So hey Volker, have you bought the game yet? Because if you haven't, it's available on Steam. This game, I mean. You better go buy a copy. Anyway, but yeah, seriously, the game is available right now on Steam, GOG, and the Humble Bundle. We were asking about consoles, and like Francisco said, unfortunately, the engine that this game was created in is not portable to consoles, unfortunately. So that includes Nintendo Switch, and as far as I know. But if that ever changes, I'm sure that Francisco would be happy to do tons more work, you know, and struggle to get that out there for you guys. Volker's like, I have about 1 million in stock. All right, so let's go ahead and ask about the deliveries.
What can you tell me about the recent burglaries?
I wish Cecilia had contacted you a lot sooner. She's a damn fine woman.
That she is.
Sometimes I think she'd rather jump in a rose bush than ask for help. Had to take matters into my own hands. This needs taken care of, and we can't do it on our own, as much as Cecilia would like to. Anyhow, alls I know is someone's been making off with some flowers and leaving money behind. No idea who it could be, how they're getting in, or why they even bother paying. In my day, if you robbed a place, you did it the right way. It's a sad state of affairs when even burglars don't do their jobs correctly.
Do you have much experience with burglary, Mr. Hastings?
Now, I never said that, Detective.
Have you noticed anyone or anything suspicious around here recently?
Nothing but the usual roughnecks, ragamuffins, and drunkards. Like I said, it's a real mystery.
So Princess, you're asking me if I'm a cougar. I think I know what that means, and I think it might not be family friendly. By the way, I forgot to tell you, Francisco, this is a family friendly channel usually.
All right.
But we, but we kind of already went into the gutter, so let's just hang out there. And
yeah. Well, I mean, this game's like PG-13, so
PG-13.
It's fine.
Yeah. Francisco is generally family friendly. So Matt, by the way, do you know Francisco? Are you a fan? Do you have the game yet? I know you're new here on the Jessa channel.
Matt is a special friend from real life. He lives in the UK, but I've met him several times. He's a very talented pixel artist, actually. You should check him out because he does live streams sometimes of his pixel art. And he's working on a game right now. He's working on 2 games right now, actually. He's doing the art for them. One is called Feria de Arles, and the other one is called Purgatory. And yeah, check him out.
Game Walker is also joined us. Have you been here for a while, Game Walker? I'm so happy to see you here. You guys, Game Walker actually did a preview kind of interview with Francisco, and I reached out to him and told him that I'd be doing this live stream with the developer commentary, and so he is here in chat. You can click on the link, his name, to be taken to his channel for all kinds of interesting reviews, previews. He's already put up a walkthrough, if you hate puzzles like I do, for Lamplight City. He did it, like, he was on it this morning. So welcome to the Jessa Channel, Game Walker. And yeah, we have some real luminaries in chat right now. Adventure game luminaries. Wow, Francisco, you're famous. And you brought like all these cool famous people in here. Will you be my friend, please?
Luminaries. Let's keep on with the lamp puns. I like it. And yes, I will be your friend.
Yay! You guys hear that? He actually has to do it now because he said it live. All right, so let's go ahead and ask about deliveries.
Could you walk me through the process of your deliveries?
Of course. There's no great science to it. On Monday, Wednesday, and Friday afternoons, Cecilia gives me her list of flowers to pick up from the wholesalers. I head over to Gascon around sunset when they get their shipment, and I give them her order. They load up the crate, I pay for it, and then I lug it back here.
How long does that take?
Between moving the crate and getting it across the river on the ferry, a couple of hours. Usually the store's closed by then, so I use my key to get in and leave the crate inside for Cecilia to open in the morning. That's all there is to it. Told you it wasn't very complicated.
Do you ever leave the crate unattended during that time?
No, sir. Never more than a minute. I may be old, but I got good eyes. I'd see if there were anything amiss. Besides that, I check to make sure the crate is still sealed when I drop it off. I'm not about to let Cecilia down by being careless.
So, there's an AGS Discord? Do you mean, what's AGS mean? Adventure Game, what? Adventure Game Studios Discord?
Yeah, Adventure Game Studio. That's the engine that I use to make this game.
And actually, that's what you've used to make all of your games, including Ben
Jordan Paranormal.
Ben Jordan, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, because that's really the only coding experience I have, so that's why I keep using the engine. So I
that's fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, go ahead. I apologize.
I was just gonna say it's fine. It's really old. It was developed by one guy, but it went open source about 9 years ago, so people have been updating it regularly. So that's part of the reason that you can actually switch between windowed and full screen mode on the fly now. That's like a recent addition. You didn't used to be able to do that.
Oh, that's cool.
I know, it's like, it seems like it's really
that's so 2001.
I know, right? They finally caught up with the mid-aughts.
Exactly. So if you are here and you are new to the Jessa channel, I would like to greet you. So please say hello to me, like Joel just did. Hello, Joel. Welcome to the Jessa channel. Francisco and I...
Sorry. Go ahead.
Francisco and I are making friends, and our mods will make sure that you are comfortable. I also, a lot of our live streams we do in our pajamas. So we do, basically our live streams are big pajama parties with tea and stuffed animals. So feel free, if you guys are in the European times, heck, it doesn't matter where you are, you can get your pajamas anytime. But particularly if it's nighttime where you are, like it is over in the European, Western European, Eastern Europe, well, all of Europe basically, areas, get into your pajamas and cozy up with us, because we're having a great time playing Lamplight City. And, you know, if you're really, really a good boy or girl, Francisco will sing a lullaby before we finish for the night. Right, Francisco? Like, right?
Sure.
Do you guys know that I absolutely love putting developers on the spot live? It is like a joy. It's what I live for. I was
the joke's
born.
on you, because I don't get. It's very hard to embarrass or make me feel nervous. So I just play along.
I'll keep trying.
All right.
But anyway, seriously. So Matt's still in his pajamas. So can I get a can I give a hands up if you're still in your jammies? Show me your hand or show me a cup of tea if you are enjoying, because we always have live streams with our tea. Anyway, let's go ahead and ask about himself. Let's ask our possible suspect.
How long have you been working for Mrs. Hanbrook?
Been about 10 years now, I reckon. I used to help with deliveries now and then when it was her and David, her husband. But after he passed, she offered to make me her assistant. Unfortunate way to get it, but I needed the work. Used to be I had a job at one of the airship yards, but they let me go after I was injured by one of those newfangled steam machines. So the offer came at a good time. Besides that, Cecilia needed looking after, even though she'd never admit it. If I'm being honest, we're both getting a bit long in the tooth. Not sure how much longer we'll be keeping this up, but as long as I'm upright and breathing, I'll be bringing these crates along, even if it is murder on my back.
I admire your work ethic.
I've got a job to do. Not enough people these days seem to respect that.
Thanks for your time, Mr. Hastings. I'll let you get back to work.
Appreciate it, Detective.
So a couple things. First of all, Joel says,
check the crate before I bring it in.
Of course. Thank you again for your help.
So,
learn anything?
Possibly. I may have an idea.
Ah, you're being cryptic. That's always a good sign. But if you've got a plan, let's talk about it.
So anyway, Joel said in chat, they're having a good time in chat. That's the way I like it. And sometimes they're having more fun in chat than I'm having out here. I mean, I'm having a great time, just saying. But Joel said, Merv says he put his hand up. Volker's sitting there in his jams. Hey, Volker, I want you to send me a picture of yourself in your jams. And then Joel said, what should I raise if I don't wear anything? And I have an answer that pops to mind, but like I said, this is a family-friendly channel, so I'm just gonna leave it to myself. Okay. By the way, if you would like to join us later on and talk about this game, I will, I'm gonna invite Francisco to our private Discord server, which you only get access to if you are a patron or I like you. And you'll be able to join us in Discord, that's where we hang out. Our Discord is very cozy. It's basically an extension of our live streams. It's an incredibly safe space. And you know, you can post pictures of the game you're playing, talk about, you know, the Lamplight City, and also hopefully perhaps say hi to Francisco, and who may be able to join us and visit it with us there. So if you are not yet a patron of the Jessa channel, there is a link right there. And also, as always, the mods throw links into the chat from time to time. Delancey, Welcome back to the Jessa Channel. Anyway, so let's go ahead with the story. This is really good. I'm really enjoying this. This is very, very fun. Okay, so we've done pretty much all we can do. Is there something we need to do here? Let's see. Do we need to say anything else to oh, oops. Let's see if I can do it this way. There's a chat over my... Let me move it a little bit here. There we go.
I have a few more questions for you, Mrs. Hambrook.
Very well, Detective. If it will help you conclude your investigation faster.
Yeah, I have, I'll just show you guys the screen, how I work. We'll go to desktop mode real quick here. And you guys can see now what I'm looking at. I'm just going to move Francisco up here. Look at that, Francisco. I can move you around as per my whim. The power is immense. No. But anyway, this is how I have the game up. And this allows me to see chat, and the chat window is transparent. But sometimes there's something underneath here that I need to click on, so that's what's going on. Anyway. So we should be back in game mode now. Let's go ahead and tell her about the upstairs window and how we were able to crack it with no problem, and that she needs a burglar alarm.
Mrs. Hambrook, are you aware that there's a gap in the frame of the small upstairs window?
Is there? I only go up there to check that the window is locked. I've never noticed a gap. Are you suggesting that's how the burglar is entering the store?
Precisely. I believe the burglar is passing a tool through the gap and using it to unlock the window.
Oh my.
But now that we know the method, we're one step closer to catching him.
And how do you propose to do that?
I'll
Caution
inform you as soon
one.
as I know. I think that's all the information I need for now.
All right, Detective.
So what we're going to do to catch this dude is we're going to go upstairs about 3 a.m. and we're going to, like, Bill's going to be on one side of the window and we're going to be on the other side of the window, and we're going to have, like, a big old feckin' baseball bat, you know what I mean? And we're just going to wait for him to come in, and then we're going to cosh him one.
You're not too far off.
Oh, okay. It's like, you see, like, we're just like this. We're like, you know, it's like...
Yeah.
And
You're
I
clearly,
love that...
Yeah, made the connection with this game.
I love that there are so many adventure game luminaries here, and that all of them, including Volker, the publisher, are in their pajamas. Shut up, Bill. Somebody tweet me this just to make my day. Please tweet me. Hey, Volker, tweet me this. Please. I'll love you forever if you do it. Come on. Hashtag shut up, Bill. Just do it. That's what I was saying. I don't know if you heard me saying that before you came in. The Volker, the shut up Bill DLC. Because I'm already going to buy that. I'm so on that. So now what do we do here? We need to... Let's actually look at our casebook to find out. We need to ask Bill about surveillance. I love that. That's really great, because if you're so busy talking and not paying attention to the actual story like I am, you can actually go over here and find out what you're supposed to do.
Got a minute, Bill?
For you, Miles, I've got 5.
So, Bill, have you ever been lonely and out in a field with flowers and just felt like you wanted to feel the touch of soft silk against your skin? Like, is that just me? Is that, like, hey, Bill, where are you going? Bill, come back. Bill. Okay. I don't know. I just amuse myself, to be honest. I told Francisco before we started that the way we work here at the Jessa Channel, and that I role play and story everything. I mean, I just can't help it. It's so, you know, I just like making a little relationship between Miles and Bill for amusement's sake, role play sake, fun, you know. So anyway, let's ask about the surveillance.
Right. Based on what we've been told in our experiment, I can only conclude that our burglar is using the upstairs window to get into the shop.
So what do you propose we do about it?
It's happened repeatedly over the past 3 weeks, on one of the delivery nights. Since it has yet to occur this week, and today is Friday, logic dictates it should be tonight.
So we settle in and wait to see if the burglar returns? Catch him in the act?
Exactly. It's our best chance of solving this before the trail goes cold.
And I was really looking forward to getting that drink at the Angel tonight, too.
I know, but it's as you said yourself. There'll be plenty of other opportunities. Besides, forbearance is good for the soul.
Spoken like someone who truly has no idea how to have any fun.
I'm sure I'll get the hang of it one of these days, especially with your expert tutelage.
Okay, let's go have a chat with Mrs. Hambrook. I'm sure she'll be delighted to know we're spending the night.
We're spending the night at Mrs. Hambrook's.
At least it's quiet up here. I'm surprised we didn't go deaf after the last time we did this.
What?
I said, oh, right. Your sense of humor remains on point.
Miles, have you ever considered leaving all this behind?
What, you mean quitting the force?
The force, the city, going off and seeing what else is out there, you know?
I'd miss it too much. Wouldn't you?
I was thinking I might visit Harley out west. She makes it sound like a dream in her letters. Wide open spaces, fresh air. I know I'm a city boy and would probably miss New Bretagne's filth and squalor after a week, but...
You should do it. A change of scenery never hurt anyone. Plus, it's much easier for you than it is for me. I've got a family to consider, after all.
Ah, right.
Oh, no, I didn't mean it like that, Bill. It's just...
Shh. I think I heard something.
Dun-dun.
Oh, no.
Bill?
Stop! Police! Damn it! He's got up the fire escape. We can corner him on the roof. Stay close and keep me covered.
Bill, you derp!
He can't help his nose.
Oh, no.
Stay back, officer. I've got a knife. Ready your pistol, Fordham.
But you're too close.
I trust you, Miles. Your pistol, now! There's really no need for this, officer. I respect your desire to uphold justice. Mine is more important. If you let me go, I won't come back. And we can all forget this ever happened. Don't listen to this lunatic, Miles.
Shoot the blimp.
Things get worse.
Actually, funny story about that. Originally, you didn't have the option to reason with him. You just got, after he said that, you just got like a crosshair, and you just had to shoot. And so I got rid of that because I figured that was exactly what everyone was gonna do, was shoot the blimp. And I contemplating having doing an animation of the blimp just deflating and going all over the screen, but I quickly changed my mind and just changed it into a dialogue thing.
So, is this one of those games where there are branching outcomes? Like if we choose to reason with him, we can't take a shot later on?
Well, I will confess to you that this is the game's only false choice, because the result of this is it's gonna be the same either way because it has to happen. But the rest of the game, yeah, like in the cases that you play, if you make certain choices, it might lock out certain things. You might not be able to accuse certain suspects. You might screw up the case entirely. That's the whole thing of it's okay to fail, because even if you get everything wrong, the game will still continue, just the story will change. And you might see different bits of it, you might not. But yeah, this plays out the same either way, so.
Yeah, Merv, you might like the Jessa channel. You might like it here, Merv, because we generally play more family-friendly stuff. We're really silly, but we don't really like the violence too. Like I've gone so far as to mod the blood out of Skyrim. Like I really, honestly, seriously. But I'm gonna make an exception this time because Bill is hepped up on coffee. He had just hit the Starbucks around the corner. By the way, I have to tease you about this, Francisco. I think it's really funny that we're in Victorian times. Now, you never said London, but when I think Victorian, you know, that's the Queen Victoria. I think London. Sure, exactly. I think England, and everybody is from the Bronx in this game.
Well, Well, I mean, that's partly why I wanted to set it in a fictional, because this is a fictional alternate United States. It's just still a Commonwealth country, and it's called Vespuccia, and it's not Queen Victoria, but yeah, everyone's from the Bronx because all of my actors are from the, well, they're not all from the Bronx, but all my actors were local New York actors, so that's why they, Bill especially, I was like, let's give him a little New York-y kind of accent, which I think works for the character.
So people in chat will know, that my regulars will know that I do voices, and I'm actually doing a voice in an upcoming game called The Shape-Shifting Detective. But
oh wow, yeah, I know that
yes,
game.
I am one of the voices reading on Radio August. But in any case, the only accent I can do, my range is very limited. I can do your basic American, and I can do English. So, for example, all my characters somehow, no matter how they start up, ending, and they tease me about this, end up being basically more or less kind of English. Francisco, I'm wondering if you might enjoy playing this game with me at some other time, because I love it. It's wonderful. And, although, hold on. Yes, Petherby? Oh, okay. Yes, of course. Petherby tells me that tea is being served in the drawing room, so I will have to go and meet him at that point. But, before I do so, and we are going to be ending this stream in about 20 minutes or so, I'm wondering, if you might be willing to come back as a guest to the Jessa Channel at some point and do more of, Lamplight City, because this is very enjoyable. And, I love speaking in this accent. It makes me sound very much as if I have a branch. Not just a tiny branch, an entire branch up my bum. So, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. Yes. Okay. Well, anyway, that's my accent. One of them. I can do different versions, but that's basically it. So, yeah. So if you're hiring, baby, you guys, I'm going to get famous, and you watched it here first. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and take a shot because Miles is hepped up on, cappuccinos. Thank you, Volker. Matt, you don't have a branch up your bum? I'm sorry to hear that.
No!
Miles! I mean, Bill!
Oh, God. I am so sorry, my friend. I am so sorry.
Bill finally shut up. For good.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Don't ruin it. Don't spoil it.
Miles
We're dreaming
is now
of
suffering your ultimate nightmare.
Miles, wake up! Your house is on fire!
Huh? What?
You see, I told you it was funnier when I did it to you.
Yes. Hilarious.
What's the matter? Have a rough night?
Overdid it on the soporific.
What? Who's talking to us?
Why don't
Bill?
I feel like I've had this conversation before?
I'm just glad you're in the mood to converse again.
Bill?
Seriously, you took so much of that snake oil last night, I was starting to think you wanted me quiet for good.
Hashtag shut up, Bill. Bill! Bill, I loved you. I thought we loved each other and you would never leave me. Okay, so one of the things, that's awesome. Okay, so honestly, I feel kind of dumb, but I didn't see that coming. And, yeah, we definitely do want you quiet for good. Like, if I could kill you again, I would.
That was the idea.
Come now, you don't really mean that.
Believe me, I do.
No, I do.
It's not easy, but there's really no need.
Not easy. Bill,
Hedo?
I've been hearing your voice since you died. You don't shut up unless I take that accursed medicine. I'd say that qualifies as a bit more than not easy.
Yeah, well, how do you think I feel? You think I enjoy being trapped here, listening to you whine about how hard your life's become? You at least still have yours.
Okay, so let me get this straight. So you died, you're in our head now, and you're giving us like a hard time. Like, I'm in mourning for you, Bill. Like, I dream about you and that picnic that we could have had and the silk stockings. I loved you, Bill. Why can't you just leave me alone?
If you're just as miserable, why don't you just go away and leave me in peace?
Believe me, I wish I knew how. But the bottom fact is, you're stuck with me. So you can either keep living this way and ruin your life even more than you already have, or you can do as I've told you and try to figure out a way to let me move on.
Can somebody give it to me? Just make me a happy woman. Hashtag shut up, Bill. In the chat or tweet it at me. I need it. I need it right now. You have no idea. This life isn't all so bad. No, he wouldn't say that. It's bad. So we need to find the burglar from the flower shop because, like, they've been 3 months later and they robbed that. There's like one flower for sale in that shop. There's like some flowers and some grass that like dude went out in the back and bought, and like he like wrapped it up in a ribbon and he stuck it in there and they sold it for like £5.
Right.
Well, they say it's going out of business because he was getting money
from the flower shop.
Yes, exactly.
I still don't get how that's going to help.
I can understand your confusion, considering it was you who killed me. But the point remains. You wouldn't have been in that situation in the first place if not for him. Once the criminal has been caught and is in custody, we'll both get what we want.
Hashtag shut up, Bill. Thank you, Merv. CO, thank you. By the way, CO, I don't know if I said hello to you yet, but hello and welcome back to the Jessa Channel. So his hat is on the closet. So, yeah. Tell your friends I said hi, by the way.
Oh,
anyway.
Jessa says hi.
Hi.
He's like, hi, total stranger on the internet. So, yeah, let's get a decent night's sleep because Bill snores.
Decent night's sleep?
More than that, you'll have that elusive thing you always wanted to give others. Closure.
You do realize the trail's pretty much frozen at this point. Our man has seemingly vanished into the ether.
That's no excuse not to keep trying. I know the cases Upton's been giving you these past few months haven't been the most thrilling, but they've at least kept you active. So just keep at it. Something has to turn up eventually. Unless, of course, you want to wind up in Riverview Asylum. And if that happens, I'm really not going to keep quiet.
Fine.
Good man. Now, I suggest you stop talking to thin air, or Adelaide's going to start wondering if you've gone mental. Or just maybe she'll stop wondering.
Very funny.
So, CO, I have been to Yorkshire. Yep, it's beautiful. Okay, so we have some things to look at here. Our stream will be ending in approximately 10 minutes. But first of all, let's do what's really important for any detective to do who has a dead person in their head. Let's sit down and see if we can't look pretty.
It's admirable just how organized Adelaide is. Maybe someday the same can be said about you.
So I think the shock of this has made Miles stop drinking coffee, and he's now on to, let's see, what do you guys think that Miles is drinking now? He's gone from coffee to like, I mean, we could do alcohol, but that's like, so we could do like whiskey or something, but I think it's something like, I don't know. I think it's something like...
He's taking a soporific. He's taking Professor Xander Coltit III's emulsified soporific.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, let me go see if that's in the nightstand.
It is.
It better be.
Miles, care to explain what you're doing?
Just checking to make sure everything that needs to be in here still is.
Right. If you start taking that stuff during the day, you're really going to have problems.
So Merv says that he is addicted to carrot juice, and we're gonna go with that. But and so he has this flask now, because he heard that carrot juice is really good for the eyes, and since he thinks that maybe, I don't know, it'll stop the nightmares, maybe, I don't know. But anyway, he puts like soporifics in. So yeah, basically, so yeah, we have a character who's now addicted to to spiked. I think he's addicted to carrot juice with like a dash of nutmeg or something like in it, like that, basically. You know, because I mean, he's trying to turn his life around. Anyway. So Volker, I'm glad you're still here. Let's go ahead and look at
before you started taking that medicine and you could actually read a book for more than 10 minutes before falling asleep? You were a lot more fun to talk to back then.
You know, some people
like that self-portrait of Adelaide's mother, even if the eyes do always follow you around the room. Cozy little winter getaway. That would be a welcome change from the winters in this city.
So I want to talk a little bit about the art style, the fact that you drew these. How do you draw? Now you might remember that I actually came to 2 of your developer streams before I was deciding whether I wanted to ask you whether I wanted to feature the game or not. I was pretty sure I did, but I wanted to kind of basically check you out and see if you'd make a good guest. So I came to one of your, and so despite that live stream, I asked you anyway. So, anyway.
I don't know what you were thinking, but yeah.
But I watched you doing some real tedious work with voice, choosing voice lines and that kind of stuff. But it would have been, I want to know how you draw a scene like this. Do you use a tablet? Do you do it digitally? Do you build the room first in like The Sims? And then recreate it in the game, or do you like go and take pictures of bedrooms like that you would like? Seriously, I mean, what do you use for, or do you just like this wallpaper would look good and you just make it, or do you like go to IKEA? Like, what do you do?
It depends on the background. For interiors and stuff like that, usually, I mean, the general practice that I use for all of my backgrounds is I just do a really simple sketch first in Photoshop. I use a tablet, a really old Wacom tablet, but I draw out, I have my little like perspective grid and everything, so I keep to and everything, or try to at least. And I'll do a very basic sketch of the layout of the room and just kind of figure out what I want there. Like any important things I'll usually highlight in red or something. But then, yeah, like I'll go on like Google image search, for example, for an interior like this, and you know, if I wanted to look, I looked up a lot of Victorian era interiors to just kind of get an idea of what they looked like. So yeah, I would draw this background, for example. I sketched it out, and then I looked at photos for reference, and then I just kind of layer by layer added. First, usually I just build the room itself, like I lay out the colors for the wall and the ceiling and the floor and everything. And then I start adding things little by little. So like first the windows, and then like the furniture, and then the stuff on the wall or whatever. So it kind of is like The Sims, except not in 3D. It's just adding new layers in Photoshop and drawing stuff.
Basically. Okay. And also I'm going to remind you again to sit up. Your mouth is directly behind. Yep. There we go.
It's behind the red phone.
Yeah, it is behind the red phone. And we want to see your pretty face. So, when you, with like the wallpaper, for example, like, did you just come up with that pattern, or?
I used a lot of photo textures for the wallpapers, because I wanted to have authentic looking Victorian wallpapers. So I would just get them and then copy paste so they looked right, and then just put them as an overlay layer so they blended in with the wall.
Okay, and so Valest is saying something very interesting. A lot of us, my audience are people who are creative. My channel started on Skyrim and The Sims 2, which we still play, and patron-only live streams. So if you want to join me on Patreon, those of you guys, I don't know if anyone here is interested in The Sims 2, but anyway. And we've created a little world called Kettle Falls, and we enjoy doing that. But a lot of people are creative. We have a creative area in Discord where I will invite you after we are done here. So we would like to, really hear more about the process of the design. Like, for example, a question, and as we end here in Miles' love nest, because look at this bed. You guys, look at this 3 pillows. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. I think we can fit Miles, Mrs. Hancock, whatever her name was, anyway, in here. And then like a space over here for like Bill.
Well, you look at the bed, you get a little insight into his current predicament.
Don't worry, Miles. I don't watch when you and Adelaide are having your private time.
It would be nice if you didn't spend the whole time humming.
I thought you
Oh my
appreciated
God.
some romantic music.
That is so creepy. Wow. So I hope we're gonna meet Adelaide later on.
She's in the next room, actually. If you go out into the next room, you'll meet her.
Okay, we'll do that real quick. But as we bring the stream to an end, this is a good time to ask about anything that, like, Francisco and I can do one more live stream of this, because the speed at which we're moving means that you're not going to get too much of the story spoiled. There's how many cases left?
There's this would be the start of case 1, and there's 5 total.
Awake.
So yeah.
Ready to rejoin the living?
Very much so.
Oh, Adelaide is this beautiful woman with brown skin. That's wonderful.
You were talking in your sleep again.
Did I say anything interesting?
Do you ever?
You have to admit, she's got you there.
How are you feeling?
A touch groggy. I think I took a bit too much of the soporific last night.
That's what I thought. When you went for your after-lunch nap, you'd barely gotten breakfast down. I saved you some bread and cheese if you're hungry.
Thank you, but I haven't got much of an appetite.
You really should regulate your doses more carefully, love. I'm sure dull senses and an empty stomach aren't much help to your work. By the way, a message arrived via courier for you this morning. I put it on the table along with today's newspaper.
Thank you, dear.
That's awesome. I mean, I'm real serious here, heartfelt here. I'm serious. In adventure games, period, I am an African-American woman, brown skin. There's not many of me on YouTube gaming. There's often in games, particularly games that are set in like English, Victorian, and that time period, you don't see brown people. So yeah. I'm super pleased.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is why I wanted to do this.
That's cool. I'm very, very pleased about that. So, so I'm going to, as we have about 2 minutes left, and we do not want Francisco to be late for his release day live stream, I'm going to save this game now, because Francisco and I will start up right here the next time we play. And I really hope that you guys, I'm going to call this, I'm going to call this Shut Up Bill 01. And I'm going to take myself, let's see, over here to OBS, and I'm going to put myself back up, but I will also add in Francisco as well too. Let me see if I can do that real fast. I think I can add you in really quickly so that we can say goodbye to you. Here's a scene. I can do it on the fly. Watch this. Check out this professionalism. There he is. Look at that. Look at that, ladies. Look at that. Right. Unfortunately, I'm very sorry. He is already taken. It's so sad. It's so sad.
Don't date game developers. We work too hard and you never see us. So that's just
so look, I just saved you a bunch of heartache.
Yeah, I guess.
So anyway, yeah, I would really, encourage you. Morgwin has been posting those links. The mod team is on it as usual. This is Lamplight City. We are at the first case. The next time that Francisco and I get together to play, we'll finish up the first case, and then we'll stop there because we don't want to ruin it for you guys to buy it. It's available now on Steam, GOG, and Humble Bundle for $14.99. Come on, you guys, $14.99 to listen to Miles. Like, come on. $14.99. And also, I want to say congratulations to Princess, well, actually, I don't know if Princess, if you're the one who won the key, but if you are, I'll be giving one key away to whoever tweeted me the fastest, tweeted Lamplight Slutty, because we do quality, professional entertainment here. Okay. Anyway, so, I want you guys all to say goodbye to me and to Francisco. I want to say goodbye to Volker from Application Systems Heidelberg. I finally got Volker in one of my live streams. So now I can stop tweeting pictures of my cat at him. I don't do that, but I should. Anyway, I want to say goodbye to Patrick, who, by the way, fun fact, Patrick has never missed one of my live streams, ever. He's at every single one without fail. Every single one. I want to say goodbye to Merv and Mothering. I want to say goodbye to Matt and Crafter, to CO, and, let's see. And CO, and Damo. Damo is, like I said, I seriously recommend that you get in touch with Damo. Just, I don't know, go take a look at his YouTube channel. He's got somewhere around 15,000 subscribers, and he does a lot of the same games I do, which is why I like him and we're friends. And I want to say goodbye to Princess and Matt, who I hope has finally put on some pants. And all the other adventure game luminaries that were here to join us. This was a ton of fun. I told you guys, and I mentioned it during my panel at PAX West, that my goal was to do more developer commentary streams because I love them. The fact that there is a win-win-win situation between the developer, the live streamer, the audience, the publisher, everyone wins. I mean, this is it's one of the few really good win-win situations in life. Grundislav, Francisco had a great time. I had a great time. You guys get to see the game. You get to buy the game. You get to know what's going on with the game before you decide whether to push that purchase button. And the publisher sells more copies and we all win. So, and I get to, basically act like a fool on the internet. So I think that's great. So I want to say goodbye to all of you guys. I'm going to be playing Lamplight City music as we head out of the stream today. I'm going to put that on as we listen to that. Francisco put that on my... Oops, he didn't. Can you link that, throw that music in there again, please, real quick for me? Because I had to stop the call, the last one.
Yeah.
So we can hear some of that Lamplight City music as we head out of the stream. But when we come back in the next stream, which we'll do next week, I'm imagining. But we will... Thank you, Delancey. But
good one. Hang on.
I'll have some more. I'll have like the music from Francisco downloaded and ready to go. And if you buy the game, thank you, Francisco. If you buy the game, you can tweet that at me, tweet that at Grundislav Games, and let us know that you got the copy, and let us know if you had to yell, shut up, Bill, at your screen the way I did like 400 times. And also, one last thing, you can also join me on Patreon. Like I said, I will be in Discord later on today. Perhaps Francisco it's release day, so we got to give the man a break. But he might stop in and visit with us later on. So you'll get to hang out with the developer if you join us here on Patreon. Whew. Okay. Let's go ahead and play that music. So cool. I'll see you next time. Thank you, as always,